It's not even May 4th yet, you idiot. Welcome to the long overdue episode of What is on my iPod Touch 5th generation. This was a requested video. The iPod Touch 5th generation has not garnered much attention from me, and that is why we're making a video on it today. This is running iOS 8.1.2. Here's a bit of an interesting tidbit. My iPhone is on iOS 8.1. Therefore, technically, this is more up-to-date than my iPhone 6 is, software-wise. Great. Alright, now that we have that covered. Here is the lock screen. It is 7 o'clock. Fantastic. Here's the wallpaper. It's just a stock iOS wallpaper. And here is my springboard. Yes, I kid you not, this is all I have on the springboard. It's rather pitiful, but I'm content with this. This is all I need. I use my iPod Touch nowadays as a browsing device. Maybe if I don't feel like taking my phone with me out and about, or I have like 700 songs on here that I could listen to. Since I listen to my music in lossless audio, that's all I can fit on here, unfortunately, but still. It's a rather good music player if I just need to listen to something for an hour and I don't feel like lugging around my large iPhone, which is ironic considering I'm planning on getting a Nexus 6 soon, which is one of the largest phones. So anyhow, I digress. It's nice. It's so convenient for me. I am still going to keep this, and I'm probably going to until the new iPod Touch comes out, which I am planning to purchase, just because I am a fan of the iPod Touch line. It's comparatively cheap. It is convenient. You get iOS. It's less expensive, less of an investment than an iPhone, and arguably it attends to my needs more because it's runs iOS and it's a rather good media player. So yeah, let's take a look at that. 902 megabytes available, of course, since I have it all stocked up with music. It's a 32 gigabyte slate iPod Touch because I got this within 2 months of release. Now it's a space gray iPod Touch. Ew. But now everybody knows I have the outdated one from 2012. Whether that's a good thing or bad thing, I guess that's up to be perceived by others, because of course I cannot necessarily conclude anything. Although I will say that the slate one is better than the space gray one. That's only because I have it. So here we go. Here's the first springboard page. I know this is a requested video. I'm doing this per request. This isn't going to be very descriptive. Here's my first springboard page. I use everything on here, besides photos, because this has a mediocre camera. Second page, Amazon, because I browse Amazon sometimes. Snapchat, because I use Snapchat monthly. And I have a few applications from a video I did a couple months ago testing out the gaming performance of this. It's still fairly decent with games. So most of these, all of these games will work well. Asphalt 8 runs at a rather stagnant 30 FPS, but that's okay. That's rather respectable considering this has an 800 megahertz dual-core Apple A5 processor. Then we have Edmodo. It's just for school assignments, which oddly enough I never use it. YouTube, YouTube application, great. And iTranslate for translating things into various languages. And that is it. And it is jailbroken too, so I experiment with this occasionally to install new jailbreak tweaks and such. Here are the tweaks that I have worth mentioning because they have a settings panel. Here we go. Flux is, I believe, in action right now because it is nearing sunset. Once sunset is, I don't know, evident or forthcoming. I don't know. I have a massive headache right now. Here are the city tweaks I have. I've mentioned these before in a What's on My iPhone video. That's basically what is on my iPod Touch. This theme is called Soft for iOS. It's one of my favorite iOS themes. It looks just amazing. Overall, my iPod Touch runs rather well. Of course, it isn't smooth, really. I mean, it is alright, but it definitely is not as smooth as I would like. There are jerky animations. Everything is to be expected, especially with the jailbroken iPod Touch 5th generation, which really does bog down the A5 chip. However, I still prefer having a jailbreak to not having one, so I guess to each their own. That was totally accidental. I do not have any protection on this, just simply because it's at the point in its life cycle in which I honestly do not care if this breaks, but I doubt that anything will happen to it since I do care for my devices quite well. So that is all. Thank you for requesting this, Sen Bennett. More videos incoming. This was simply a quick video. Just giving the iPod Touch 5th generation some limelight. Alright, there we go. You are noble, you are strong, but you're irrelevant. Alright, catch you later, guys.